Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sister. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Luke. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. So, as you all know, or some of you may not know, YouTube servers for me aren't working, and it may be on mine. I can't really tell the difference right now. I'm gonna have to what the hell's going on, but for the last 3 days, haven't really had any service in terms of being able to go live. So having to do this via the cell phone, and so got to get it any way I can. But I'm a man of the people. I said we were going to do this live. I'm gonna be here. We're gonna watch this game together, and so we're going to do exactly that. So a couple of things I want to throw out at you guys, and let me go ahead and a sip of my wine because it's Thursday. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. First, let me pull up the live feed and have that in front of me so I can see your comments and we can chop it up and watch this together. I wanted to give you some numbers, of the players that you may not know. And so I want to pull that up as well. I had my notebook. I left my notebook in the other room and I don't feel like going to get it. So I'm being a little lazy right now, which is fine. I'll just pull it up on my computer. But just some numbers of note, some guys that are new to the Redskins roster that you might not know what number they are. And it's the preseason. There'll be duplicates of numbers. There'll be a bunch of guys out here that you don't know who's who. So I thought I'd just give you some of these numbers to be able to know exactly what's going on. So with that being said, let's first pull up the stream. I want to have that in front of me now. Is this the most excited you've been for Redskins preseason game? I told you when I did the Redskins video, most anticipated Redskins preseason in quite some time. I think since 2012, to be honest with you. I know some of you were excited about Alex Smith last year. I wasn't as excited about Alex Smith last year. I was definitely all on board for Robert Griffin III. And so that was a major preseason for me. I think this is the first one that I've had that I've been this excited about since the 2012 preseason for Robert Griffin III. So this one is a big one, man. And it's crazy because I really don't know what we're gonna see from Haskins tonight. I don't know when we're gonna see him. So in case you didn't know, no Colt McCoy. We talked about that already. I tweeted that out, but okay, if you didn't know, no Colt McCoy tonight. So I'm assuming that we're going to see plenty of Dwayne Haskins if he can protect himself, if the offensive line can protect him. And I think the beauty of it is right now, Donald Penn and Wes Martin have both been working with the second team unit. So if that trend continues tonight, which I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, then you would feel good about Haskins having a better left side than the starter might tonight with Jerron Christian and Eric Flowers being with the ones right now. So Case Keenum could be in some danger tonight. I'm not saying he is going to be, but he could be in some danger tonight with that left side as constructed. Obviously, those two guys that are on the second unit could easily be your starters come week one. And it wouldn't shock me if by week 2 in the preseason, next week when we're at home hosting the preseason game, that those two aren't in the starting lineup next week. So again, no Colt McCoy. Let me pull up the Redskins roster. But no Colt McCoy tonight. And you're not going to see a lot of guys tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if you didn't see Chris Thompson tonight, if you didn't see Adrian Peterson didn't even travel with the team, so he's definitely not playing. I would be shocked if you saw any of Ioannidis, Payne, Allen, any of the mainstays. Ryan Kerrigan probably won't play tonight. I'd be shocked if Paul Richardson played tonight. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. The first preseason game is only second to the fourth preseason game as being the most meaningless game in all of the season. The second and the third preseason game, they both have value, but of course, this first one doesn't have any value. Neither does the fourth one, really. But we'll see who plays and who doesn't in this football game. And for those of you out there who want me to read your comment, use the hashtag Louie T Live to have your comment read. Um, so I cannot show the game live. We've been through this a number of times. I do this every year. Can't show the game live. YouTube will knock me down and slap me around if I try to show this game live. The NFL has it on lock, so I cannot show the game live. And I apologize for those of you who thought that I would be able to do that. I can't do that at all. So I will not be able to show the game live. That being said, I want to give you some numbers of some players that I think you should be looking for tonight. And they're young guys, so I want you to be able to know who they are when they show up on your screen. So Ross Pierschbacher is going to be number 72. Be looking out for him tonight as a guy that a lot of people have been impressed with throughout camp, and is going to get a lot of opportunities to play tonight and throughout this preseason as preseason action is getting underway. Redskins are hitting the field as we speak right now. Another number that you should be on the lookout. I'm going to give you the offensive guys first, and then we'll get to the defensive players. So another number that you should know is, let's see. And again, I had all of this written down. I apologize. I left my notebook in the other room, and I don't feel like going to get it. Wes Martin is going to be number 78. So be on the lookout for him tonight as well. As we get to now the other offensive linemen, Eric Flowers is 77. Hugh Thornton is 69. That's a guy that we just recently signed at guard position. Zach Kieran is 67. He's not new, but he's a guy that could make this roster. It's not inconceivable for him to make this roster. Donald Penn will be 79. Corey Robinson, a guy that we signed, and I told you I don't think he's going to make our final 53-man roster, is number 60. As we continue down, Dwayne Haskins, I'm pretty sure all of you already know his number, but just in case there are some of you who don't, number 7 is Dwayne Haskins. Darius Geis is number 29. I think he will play. I don't think he'll play very much, but I do think he will play tonight. Let's see. Landon Collins is 20. I don't know if he'll play tonight or not. It wouldn't shock me if Geis, Collins, all of these guys don't play tonight. Again, you won't see a lot of players playing in this game tonight. Again, it's a very meaningless game. It's preseason game number 1, similar to preseason game number 4. Let's see. Offensively, Robert Davis is 19, in case you forgot. Haven't seen him in a while. Kelvin Harmon is going to be number 13. Terry McLaurin is going to be number 17. And Cam Sims is going to be number 89. Do not confuse him with Steven Sims. The two are very different in size. Cam Sims is 6'5". Steven Sims is like 5'9". So you shouldn't confuse the two, but just in case, Cam Sims is 89. All right, defensive guys that you should know and numbers of note are as follows. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is going to be 45. I don't anticipate him playing tonight. He's a veteran, but he may play. We'll see. Deion Harris is the guy that I talked about during the cornerbacks breakdown. He's number 38. Jimmy Moreland. Jimmy, I want to score. Moreland is 25, the people's corner. Let's see. Caleb Brantley is a guy that they really like and should play a lot more this season. He's going to be number 99. John Bostic, the inside line that replaces Mason Foster, that looks like he's going to start the season as one of the inside linebackers, is number 53. Jordan Brailford, who isn't playing tonight, I don't think, because of the restrained groin and injury he suffered in camp about 3 days ago, is number 95. Cole Holcomb, a guy that I think a lot of us are going to be keying in on tonight, is number 57. Montez Sweat, don't think he's going to play tonight, but if he does, he's number 90 on your television set. As we continue on through the defensive players. All right. Landon Collins is number 20. Again, don't think he's going to play. JoJo McIntosh, a guy that's a long shot to make the roster, but don't count him out, is number 32. And that is it in terms of numbers that I think you need to know of guys that are relatively new to the roster. And so Case Keenum's going to be up first. And I'm excited. Like I said, I'm really excited about preseason game number 1, and really this preseason in general. The excitement to see Haskins out on the football field, it's palpable. I think you could cut it with a knife. We're all excited. Look, don't overblow preseason. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Um, um, it's a tough spot if your TV's broke. I can't really help you again. I can only relay what I'm seeing. I can't show the game again. I've done it in the past. YouTube slapped me around, almost took my channel from me. So I'm not going down that road again. So it'll be interesting to see a lot of what's going on. Let me get back to the chat discussion, though. I'm sorry. I said I was going to get there and read some comments. So let's do that. Let me go over to the chat discussion. And oh, by the way, I want to tell you guys this now before we get into the game. You know, we'll be having conversation during the game nonetheless. But in any event, let's this up a little bit. There we go. In any event, scoot this over. Two things. I'm going to be doing these streams in 2 halves. This is the first half stream, obviously, and then the second half stream will come back. I'll stop at halftime. We'll come back in the second half, and there will be 2 things that you need to have a reason to come back in the second half, because I know second half season football, especially of games 1 and 4, are atrocious and it's hard to watch. But I'm giving you a reason to come back. I'm going to open the phone lines in the second half of this game. So I'm going to open up the phone lines, and you can call in and tell me some of the things that you liked, some of the things you didn't like from what you saw in the first half and what you're seeing currently in the second half. And I have an announcement for you guys in the second half as well. So stay tuned for that as well. So come back and join me in the second half of this game. I've got an announcement to make that will affect Redskins fans. So I got to tell you that. And I'm opening up the phone lines. So come back in the second half so you can chime in. And it doesn't have to necessarily even revolve around this particular preseason game. It could be something that happened 2 days ago or 3 days ago at camp, or something you've seen with this team this offseason that you'd like to address here. Hey, phone lines will be open. We're talking Redskins all night long. So come back and join me in the second half as I will open up the phone lines and we'll chop it up there. So with that being said, I'll get to the comment section now. And we're almost at game time. TP, what's going on? How are you doing? I'm doing wonderful, man. Got my glass of wine right here. I don't have to work tomorrow. So it's a really, really beautiful day here in the Louie T household right now. Got the Redskins on in front of me. Doesn't get much better than this. So I'm excited for this game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the Redskins. In this preseason game. So I'm excited too, DMV fan 123. Let's see. JP says, yes, Redskins returns tonight. Very excited to see Haskins take the field. And I'm gonna repeat this again. I've already said it, but I'll say it again. Not going to be able to show the game. Again, YouTube not having it. You know, NFL regulations and YouTube regulations state that I cannot show this game live. Some people can show the game, and if they get slapped on the wrist, they're good. But I got too much at stake to show the game. So unfortunately, I cannot do that. Gio Bove says, how long will Haskins play? I surmise that Haskins is going to get every bit of a quarter. I'm thinking that depending on how Case Keenum plays and how far behind he is, I'm thinking that Case Keenum plays about two possessions. And after that, you're going to see Haskins for the remainder of the first half. And I think you're going to see Josh Woodrum for the entire second half. That's what I expect to happen. But then again, we'll see what happens. You know, if Haskins comes in and that second unit can't protect him, he can't protect himself, they may get him out of there a lot earlier. So we'll see what happens. 7PRS says, I'll be looking out for Holcomb. I think a lot of us will be looking out for Holcomb tonight. Dexter Williams says, how do you think Haskins will do? I don't have any expectations for him right now. I'm simply just looking for him to look comfortable. I'm looking for him to have command of the offense, and they're not going to throw a lot out there. Obviously, it's the preseason. They're going to just run a lot of their core stuff. So nothing extravagant. They didn't game plan for this game. I'm just looking for him to have command of what they give him tonight. That's it. Redskins start this game off on defense. And here we go. Redskins 2019 preseason underway as they will start on defense. As there's a flag on the play and the Browns return man gets out to about the 29-yard line. But you know, anytime there's a flag on special teams, most likely it's going to be on the receiving team. So I expect them to be moving backwards here as we get underway. Yeah, Gio Bove says, if you were the GM, what would you do with Trent? I would do exactly what they're doing right now, which is nothing. Hold on to him and wait for a deal that comes that has a first-round pick attached to it. I think the Redskins have all of the leverage here. There is nothing that Trent can do in this situation that will affect the Redskins other than not play and not show up. Redskins have every bit of leverage, and I think they hold all the cards here, and I think they'd be smart to hold on to him and just wait until something comes their way, because I don't think he's coming back, as I've already said. Baker Mayfield is playing. He is starting the game. And so the Browns are on the field offensively, and they come out and they start with 5 wide. Looks like 4 wide and 1 tight end. And his first throw is errant. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is out there along with Fabian Moreau. Troy Apke is out there as well with this first unit defensively. Sean Dion Hamilton also on the field. I want to see who we have up front along the defensive line to see who they're going to decide to play and not play in this game. I thought I just saw Daron Payne. I thought I saw 94, but I need to see it again to have a really, really firm grasp of who's out there right now. Casanova McKenzie is out there. So no Daron Payne or Allen or Ioannidis. I didn't expect them to be out there. Slant completed for a first down. Just missed a knockdown by linebacker John Bostic. They're going no huddle on the Browns. They dumped it down to Chubb out of the backfield, and he gets about a gain of 15. Moreland is out on the field. DeShazer Everett is starting with Apke at safety. And your 3 corners right now are Jimmy Moreland, Fabian Moreau, and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Your 2 interior defensive linemen are Tim Settle, and I'm trying to figure out who number 64 is. Chubb breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then picks up a gain of 12 on a delay handoff. So they're moving the football down the field, and they're doing it very rapidly. They're going with a really good tempo right now. JoJo Wicker is the other defensive tackle on the field for the Redskins. So not really any starters on the field except for the 2 inside linebackers. Both of them are on the field. Redskins send a little pressure after Mayfield. It doesn't affect him as he's able to get it to one of their running backs, Lex Hill, backfield, and he's able to run right by Sean Dion Hamilton, who almost had a shoestring tackle but missed, and he's able to pick up a gain of 12 and a first down. So they're moving the football. But again, as you can imagine, no starters on the field, and they're going no huddle. They're going hurry up offense. They've been practicing this, and they're unveiling it in the first game. And the Redskins are not ready for it, obviously. The backups on the field. Another completion to the back out of the backfield. This time a gain of about 13. And so just like that, they're deep into Redskins territory. And the Redskins are giving, and it's soft coverage. Redskins giving them anything they want underneath, and they're taking it. No pressure. Mayfield over the middle of the field, and it's a touchdown. So just like that, 7 plays, about 83 yards, touchdown to Rashard Higgins on a play where Troy Apke was right there and just simply couldn't get his hands on the football. They're in zone coverage. And Apke is there. It's just a beautiful throw by Mayfield, to be honest with you. I don't think Apke could have done anything there. He tried to get up. It really, literally just went over Troy Apke's hand. It's just a beautiful throw by Baker Mayfield. And that's probably all we'll see of Mayfield tonight. So They made that look pretty easy against the Redskins second unit, and that'll probably be all she wrote. That's as clean as a drive as you'll get. Mayfield missed the first pass and then promptly went about 5 for 5 the remainder of the drive for about a good 72 yards and a touchdown. So about 5 of 6 for Mayfield and about 72 yards and a touchdown as they march right down the field and make it look relatively easy against the Redskins second unit. And so it's 7-0. Browns on top. Let's get back to the comment section. Wow, I didn't expect them to go no huddle in the first season game. They were definitely not ready for that, for sure. Let's get back to the comment section. Yikes. I can tell you this much. Our offense will not look that sharp. I can assure you of that. Our offense will not look that sharp. Dark Sealer 1995 says, I'm excited to see the running backs and see which one stands out the most. We got to see what the young guys can bring to the table. He also says, do you think inside linebackers are the weakest position group on the Skins? So my man Matt commented on my Redskins cornerback video, and he said that the Redskins cornerbacks are the weakest group on the team, and I disagree with that. I think inside linebacker is right now, and again, it could turn out to be a strength for this team, but I'm not high on John Bostic, okay? I think he's a younger version of Mason Foster. Sean Deion Hamilton, I think, has some talent, but I think he's solid. I don't think he's great. I don't necessarily know if he's a needle mover or not. And then we really don't know what we have and even though a lot of people are ranting and raving about Cole Holcomb, still don't know what he is. Obviously, he's got to prove himself. And really the same can be said for Josh Harvey Clements. Really don't know what he is. And I still don't know if he's a 3-down linebacker. So I think inside linebacker is a position that definitely worries me. And you saw it there. We didn't have enough speed on the field to run with their running backs, and they killed us just now. Guys were in position and simply couldn't keep pace with fleet-footed backs out of the backfield, and Baker Mayfield dumped it down, and absolutely guys ran past our linebackers. So right now, like I said, I don't see inside linebacker being a position of strength for this football team as constituted right now. But that was a clean possession for the Cleveland Browns just now. And I do agree with you. I think inside linebacker is the weakest position for this football team at this moment. So the Redskins will now hit the field. And we'll get a first look at this offense. We'll see who's playing. Obviously, the beauty of offense versus the defense, our defense is a veteran-laden group. Really, the front is the only part of the defense that's really young. And I guess you could say linebackers as well. But most of those guys aren't playing tonight. Byron Marshall takes the kickoff from 2 yards deep in the end zone and gets out to about the 22-yard line. So he'd have been better off taking a knee, but you're talking about 3 yards of difference there. So the Redskins will start 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. And here comes Case Keenum sporting the old Kirk Cousins 8 car. And Jerron Christian is in along with Eric Flowers. As I said, that's the first unit in terms of left tackle and left guard. So you're going to see Haskins out there with a unit that might actually be better on the left side. So that's a little comforting. And in the backfield right now is going to be Samaje Perine. And it's a screen to Perine, who Jay Gruden has been ranting and raving about all offseason. And it only gains about 2 yards as looks like Christian Kirksey able to make a tackle on the screen. So I think what you're going to see on offense more so than defense is you're going to see a lot of these young guys actually playing. And I want to bring up some interesting topics of conversation tonight. One of them surrounding Josh Doctson. And we'll talk about that here once we get to commercial break. I want to see who's all out on the field. Trey Quinn is in on the slot. Jeremy Sprinkle is in at the other tight end or at the other slot position. Robert Davis is at one receiver. It's a handoff to Samaje Perine. He gains 4 yards. So that's going to set up about 3rd and 4. So right now at running back, you're not going to see, I don't think you're going to see Geis tonight. If we're going to see Geis, you probably would have seen him first. So I assume Geis will be making his debut this season in preseason game number 2. So Robert Davis is starting at one wide receiver position, and I want to try to see if I can take a look and see who's going to start at the other wide receiver position. Trey Quinn is definitely out there, though. All right, Case Keenum tucks it and runs for a first down on 3rd and 4, gets about a gain of 9, and so he's going to move the sticks, and that's something that Keenum can do. A lot of people underrate his mobility, but he's a guy that can definitely scramble and extend plays. And Brian Quick is also on the field at the receiver position for the Redskins in this game. Still haven't seen any of the real young guys yet. Quick and Davis are your 2 starting receivers right now. And so no Vernon Davis, obviously no Jordan Reed at the tight end position. You're going to see a lot of sprinkle and the other guys. Play action fake, Keenum under duress, tried to dump it down to P. Ryan after he was under duress, and incomplete pass as the Browns got in very quickly on play action fake. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. The entire offensive line from center over not playing tonight. So no Chase Rouillet, no Brandon Sheriff, and no Morgan Moses in this game. Again, those are the things you expect. That was a really good decision by Case to get rid of that football. He was definitely under duress. So they go a handoff to P. Ryan out of the shotgun, and it's a great run by P. Ryan, but it's coming back. They threw a flag, and I'm assuming that flag is going to be for holding. And so a gain of about 14 going to come back. That was a good run by P. Ryan, too. But that's probably going to come back. Holding on Eric Flowers. Going to bring that play back. Eric Flowers gets to the 2nd level and gets charged for holding. Let's see if he was holding. Definitely holding on Eric Flowers there. Got to let the guy go. That's a terrible job of him. He's got his hands outside the pads, and then he's grabbing cloth. You got to know when to let go. I think he could have let go and still achieved his goal of making that block there. That's a bad penalty on Flowers, and it erases a 14-yard run. And so now instead of a first down and a fresh set of downs, it's now 2nd and 18. So Redskins put themselves behind the 8 ball here with that penalty. Step up! Oh, man. Jerron Christian just got beat like he stole something off the edge by a world-class pass rusher in Myles Garrett. And Case Keenum had to run out of the pocket for his life, essentially, to get rid of the football. He took a hit, too. Holding on the Redskins again. This time it is on Jerron Christian. He got beat on that play. So he had no choice but to hold, or Case Keenum was going to probably get sacked and fumble on that play. Myles Garrett ran a circle around him before he even got off the damn snap. So, again, be happy that Dwayne Haskins isn't playing behind that group on the offensive line. These guys are not doing a great job of protecting right now. And again, these are the Browns' first unit of pass rushers. So you get it. So they throw a quick screen to Quinn. And, man, there are flags everywhere on this screen as Quinn picked up about a gain of 7. But that's definitely coming back. Probably blocking downfield before he caught the ball. Maybe holding. Yep, holding. So holding on Robert Davis and holding on Jeremy Sprinkle. Sprinkle me, bitch. Sprinkle me. So both of those guys got charged with holding on that one. And both of them were holding, too. They just showed the replay. Definitely holds on both of those guys. So Redskins going in reverse right now. Beep, beep, beep. So Browns declined the penalty, and it's now 4th and 18, and they have to punt. So, and they just showed a shot of Eric Flowers trying to plead his case with Jay Gruden, and Jay would have none of it. So Redskins punt to the Browns, and the Browns will start their possession at the 35-yard line. Cam Sims pushes the return man out of bounds. Jay left off, too. In any event, let's see. Thomas Howard says, "What's up from Atlanta? All Redskins all the way, man. What's going on, Thomas? Glad you could join us, man. It's Skinny Wild King Me says, why is Ed Oliver pulling more numbers than you? It makes no sense to me. I don't know. I mean, good for him. I'm not mad at that man. It's enough out here for all of us to eat, man. So I want to ask this question. This is the question I set out, and we're gonna do this from time to time. So what I want to ask you now is, do you think there's a realistic possibility that Josh Doctson could get cut from this roster? I talked about the receiver position, and I said it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to make this roster. And I still think when it's all said and done, and they get to their 53-man roster, barring injury, knock on wood, that he's going to be on the 53-man roster. But let's say a guy like Robert Davis, and I think that's the only guy that could potentially bounce him from the roster, because I already told you the other 5 receivers are pretty, I think, a safe bet to make that they're going to make the roster if they're healthy. Once again, we'll knock on some wood. But I talked about Cam Sims, Trey Quinn, Paul Richardson Jr. I threw Josh Doctson in there, and also I'm forgetting one. Oh, Terry McLaurin and Kelvin Harmon. So those are your 7 guys vying for 6 spots. So I think Robert Davis is the only guy that could bounce, because I think when you look at the 6 guys, I'm going to go ahead and say Cam Sims is in that mix. Do you think that it's possible that Josh Doctson, if he doesn't have a strong camp, and let's say a guy like Robert Davis outperforms him, who's younger and cheaper, do you think he could be a guy that gets cut? I don't know. I've heard that brought up a couple of times. Someone brought it to my attention in one of the chat discussions. I don't think that's realistic. Well, I won't say it's not realistic. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's definitely something to ponder. And I want to know what you guys think. Leave it in the comment section. Use the hashtag LouieTLive. Do you think Josh Doctson could be a cut at the end of camp? Do you think that is a realistic possibility this season? I'm going to get to some more of your comments. I know a lot of you are killing Eric Flowers right now after that first possession. It wasn't just him. Drew Stanton is now in the game. Ooh! Sean Deion Hamilton had a chance at a pick just now, and he dropped it. It wasn't an easy one. It was a diving attempt. But nonetheless. Oh, I would love it if he caught that. That's a great opportunity for Sean Deion Hamilton to make a play there. They tried to throw a screen. It was a little errant was the pass, and Sean Deion Hamilton had a chance at a pick. Wasn't able to come down with it. But Drew Stanton now in the game. I told you the only possession for Baker Mayfield. And why would you put him back in after the possession he had, essentially taking the Browns right down the field and scoring a touchdown? Here's a run play on 2nd down. Troy Apke with a great field there to limit the game to about a gain of 3. Apke came up like a damn lightning bolt there and filled that gap. John Bostic also, or Sean Deion Hamilton also filling nicely there to force him to cut it back. But Apke filled beautifully there. He's another guy that I'm anxious to see what he looks like. Even the play where they scored the touchdown, he was in great position. He just, that's a great throw by Baker Mayfield. And so you can't defend the perfect pass, and that's what that was. 3rd and 6. Can the Redskins get off the field defensively here? Oh, my God. They had a wide open receiver, but Drew Stanton, with a little bit of pressure on his face, short hops it. There's a flag on the play. Let's hope it's on the Browns. It's holding on the Browns. Redskins are going to decline it, and it's going to bring up 4th down. Redskins are going to get the football. So good defensive possession against the Browns' 2nd unit, and the Redskins are going to get off the field. So that was good pressure there. Tim Settle and JoJo Wicker both collapse in the pocket there, and both of them, you could argue, drew holding penalties on that play, and going to force the Browns to punt the football. So they had a wide open receiver though, but pressure did impede the throw and the ability of Drew Stanton to step up in the pocket. So the first guy on punt returns tonight is Fabian Moreau. Fab Moreau was back there, so it's gonna be interesting to see who they throw out there on punts throughout preseason, because that's going to tell the story as to maybe how this roster shapes up. A guy like Greg Stroman, if he's not able, as I mentioned, to lock down a return man position, and they're going to try to minimize keeping guys that are just specialists. They want guys that can do multiple things, and if Fabian Moreau can return punts, if A guy like Jimmy Moreland can return punts. That will make a guy like Greg Stroman dispensable. You don't need Greg Stroman if you don't love him as a corner, and the only thing he really brings to the table in terms of value is special teams. If someone else can field punts, so let's get to your comments though. LP 7PRS says Browns pulling out all the stops a la Spurrier. Yeah, remember Spurrier when we scored like 50 points, like 40-something points against the 49ers in the preseason game over in Osaka? Yeah. They were pulling out all the stops in the first possession, man. I didn't see them coming out that fast. Brian says, we are in big trouble if we have to bring in backup O-lineman this year. So here's the thing. These guys are going to get better as camp progresses, as the season gets better. No, we do not want to be tapping into these backup linemen. They are not. They're not upper echelon backups. This isn't a Ty Nsekhe situation. I think Jerron Christian is going to get better. I do feel like he's going to get better. Eric Flowers, to me, is what he is. We knew that when we got him, that he was a guy that had been around the league and didn't play well. We knew that intimately as he was a New York Giant, and we got to see it firsthand that he stinks. So him making the switch to guard, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he just needs more time at guard. But two things are not going to change with Eric Flowers. He's going to stand right up out of his stance, and he's got slow feet. That's not going to change. The only thing that will change is that he doesn't have to cover as much ground at guard as that he does at tackle. So you're hoping to mask a little bit of his lack of foot speed and his sluggishness. You're hoping to hide a little bit of that and mask it inside. So with John Christian, I think, remember, he's coming off of injury, coming off of off-season surgery. He's just working his way back. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he's going to continue to get better. Let's see who's on the field for the Redskins offensively now. Still looks like P. Ryan in the backfield. Now we have a fullback back there. Remember, we had a fullback last year in the preseason, didn't use a fullback. J.P. Holtz is at fullback, the same guy that was back there last year. And now it's Byron Marshall at running back. But remember, we did the same thing last year. Had a fullback and then didn't use him in the regular season at all, didn't use a fullback at all. So I wouldn't get too crazy about seeing fullback on the field during the preseason because that's something that the Redskins did last year. Same two receivers on the field, three now with Trey Quinn in the slot. Still Robert Davis at one wide receiver position and Brian Quick at the other. With Byron Marshall in the backfield as the single back. Case Keenum drops back. Man, was he under duress. Good gracious. Took a three-step drop in the pocket. Man, y'all are right. These backup offensive linemen stink right now. They literally took our guard and dump trucked him into Case Keenum on a three-step drop, and his arm got hit as he was trying to get rid of the football on some quick game. So, and now it's 3rd and 9. They're showing Haskins on the sideline, quietly and patiently awaiting his opportunity. Keenum in the gun, same three receivers on the field. P. Ryan in the game. He got protection that time, and he's going up top. Robert Davis lets it go through his hands, but they throw the flag for pass interference. And he got behind the defense. That was actually a pretty damn good throw by Case Keenum. Great pocket. Let's see where this ball lands. Okay, yeah. It didn't go through his hands. The defender grabbed his arm and armbarred him and stopped him from catching it. So we're going to get pass interference. It's going to be about a gain of 40 yards, I would say. So that's a great throw by Keenum, man. Great throw by Keenum. And that's where you get to see the speed of Robert Davis right there on full display. He ran by both of those defenders, had a step on the nearest defender, and Keenum laid it out there. I like that. Great protection by the line on that play. We've been killing them. That was excellent protection. And also a great job by P. Ryan stepping up in pass pro. That's something Jay Gruden talked about with P. Ryan this offseason, that he's gotten a lot better at pass pro. That was a great job of him stepping up and blocking there. The Redskins just ran the ball on one of their outside zone runs. It didn't go well. Looks like about a loss of 5 on that play. Boy, was that bad. There was a jailbreak to the right side of the offensive line, and they lost 6 on that play, not 5, excuse me. Brown showing blitz. I don't think they're coming. I think they're bluffing. Same three receivers on the field. Marshall in the backfield, out of the gun. Keenum goes. Keenum got hit as he was throwing. God damn it, man. This offensive line is not protecting at all. I'd like to say that was the right tackle got beat that time. Let me see it again. But he got hit as he was throwing the football. That easily could have been picked off. He did not have the time he needed to get rid of that football. I'd love to see the replay on that one. They didn't show it, though. I'd like to say that was the right tackle there that was beaten on that play. And they have Timon Paris out there at right tackle. Again, we won't see these guys. I'm assuming that Timon Paris won't even make the roster. So again, a lot of these guys won't even be on the football team. So don't read too much into this. 3rd and 16. He got time. Oh, he's wide open. Robert Davis, touchdown. Okay, so that was probably a mix-up on the part of the Browns. And I just brought up Davis as a guy that could potentially make this football team. The offensive line stepped up, gave Case Keenum time, and he was able to, let me see if this was a double move. Nope, I told you, just a breakdown by the Browns. The corner passed him off to the safety. There was nobody home. Davis runs down the sidelines, unaccounted for. Keenum with a beautiful ball in stride. Robert Davis with about a 35-yard touchdown, and the Redskins are now on the board. D-Hop on the field to tack on the extra point as the Redskins are on the board. And like I said, Robert Davis is a guy that has a legitimate shot at making this roster. And if Doxson, and who's not playing tonight, who I think is going to make this football team, I'm confident of that. D-Hop comes on, tacks on the extra point. The game is now knotted at 7 apiece. Robert Davis is a guy that this staff really likes. Jay has talked about him in the past. Jay has talked about him this offseason, and I've heard a lot of good things about Robert Davis and the plays he's making in camp, and it's carrying over onto the field as he's able to get in the end zone and get the Redskins on the board. Dark Sealer 1995 says, you doing the beep beep is the sound of Eric Flowers getting pushed into the backfield by every pass rusher. Yikes. C's Up says, after this game, they may give Trent Williams $70 million for 2 years. They are not giving in to Trent Williams, but I can tell you this much, man. This is, first of all, it's not an indictment on the line because the guys that I think ultimately are going to start are going to be in with the second unit. And that's going to be Wes Martin at left guard, and I think your left tackle obviously going to be Donald Payne. I think those guys are going to see the field with the second unit. Remember, with the unofficial depth chart, those guys were in the second unit. So I expect them to be playing with Haskins. And right now, that's not a bad thing at all. 7PRS says Harmon should be safe on the practice squad. You may be right, but I don't, you know what? I don't think he's a guy that they want to stash away on the practice squad. I really don't. You could be right, though. You know what? That's another angle that I haven't really taken into consideration because I'm such a huge Kelvin Harmon fan, but 7PRS, you might be right. Maybe the guy, I shouldn't be talking about Doxson. Maybe I should be talking about Kelvin Harmon. Keep in mind, he was a 6th-round draft pick, and that's indicative of how the league feels about him. That's not just the Redskins. The entire league passed on this guy to the 6th round. So that tells you that a lot of teams weren't necessarily sold on Kelvin Harmon and his ability. I'm not one of them. I think this guy has immense potential, and thus I keep putting him on the roster as one of the guys that's going to make the 53-man roster. But you could be right. Maybe it's Harmon and not Doxson that we should be talking about with Robert Davis, because Robert Davis is also a really good special teams player as well. So that's something else you should keep in mind. C's Up says, watching the Ravens game 2, Lamar Jackson looks terrible. Yeah, I was actually going between the two games, but I didn't want to miss any of the Redskins game. Does he look that bad, really? But you know, they're not going to show a lot, and they've already said that they're going to do a lot of running with him, and I don't assume they're going to put that kind of mileage on in the preseason. So I assume that a lot of what you're seeing is vanilla stuff with Lamar Jackson, and they're not going to open up the playbook with him in the preseason. So he may look bad now. I don't anticipate him looking that bad come the regular season. Tony Lowe says, I know Trent laughed his ass off at that first drive. It was pretty damn bad, I will admit. It was pretty damn bad. 7PRS says, want to see play action fake on that 6-yard lost run. Yes, they're gonna come back to that, and they're gonna go play action off of that because the Browns sold out for run on that play. You go play action there, you're gonna have plenty of time to deliver the football down the field. So now the defense is back on the field. Same guys out the field. You've got Jimmy Moreland at one corner, Thad Moreau at the other. They got a completion right in front of Thad Moreau. He was playing off and soft, and they got about 9 on that completion to get this drive started. Still the same guys on the defense. You still got Sean Dion Hamilton in the middle along with John Bostic. You still got Tim Settle and JoJo Wicker. Now Cole Holcomb is in the game. All right, so for you guys out there looking for Cole Holcomb, he is now in the game along with Sean Dion Hamilton. So let's see what this looks like. He kind of spot shadowing him. And the other corner is not I take that back. The other corner that's outside is not Jimmy Moreland, but rather Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, DRC, on the other side of Thad Moreau. So you got the inside linebackers of Holcomb and Sean Dion Hamilton. You've got corners of Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie and Fabian Moreau. You've got safeties of Apke and DeShazer Everett. They run a toss to the outside. Man, did that one get blown up, but he still manages to get 2 on the play, tackled by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Man, that's what he does best. He being Ryan Anderson. He took his man 4 yards into the backfield, blew him up, and disrupted the play, but no one was there to fill that gap. And so the running back still was able to get a good 4 yards on the play, 3 yards, 2nd and 7. But that's his calling card. That's what Ryan Anderson does best, is he stopped the point of attack. So now it's 2nd and 7. Browns looking to try to run quick game. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie was all over it. Ball was thrown errant anyway and incomplete. Now you're going to bring up 3rd and 7. Let's see if the defense can't get off the field yet again. Just Andre says, Just Andre says, I want to see how Steve Sims on punt returns. So he wants to see the other Sims out of Kansas, how he does on punt returns. Doesn't know. I don't think it's going to really matter in terms of a roster spot, but it'll be interesting because he is a fast guy. Underneath throw, nobody even close to the wide receiver. He's going to easily pick up the first down. Redskins playing what looks like some cover 3. Nobody was home. Nobody was home as they came with a little bit of a blitz. Holcomb came with a blitz. He got stonewalled. And the receiver, Jalen Strong, wide open on a shallow cross underneath, picks up an additional 12 yards after the catch. And they moved the sticks on 3rd and 7 with a gain of probably about 19. Now it's 1st and 10 from the Redskins 45-yard line. Jimmy Moreland in at corner now. Thad Moreau kicks inside to the nickel. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie on the other corner outside. It's a run play. Holcomb does a great job filling and makes the tackle, but the running back was able to drag him for an additional 2 yards after initial contact. But gain of 4 there for the Browns on 1st down, and it'll set up 2nd and 7. All right. The 20th Mike says, what's good? Who's staying home tonight? I don't know what that means. Jew24 says, I should do a stream with Ed Oliver. Redskins come with a blitz. Fabian Moreau just misses the quarterback. Wow, who missed that tackle? Higgins breaking tackles all over the place. He's down at the 1-yard line. Who in the hell missed that goddamn tackle? That was piss poor. I'm putting that on. I'm gonna put that on DeShazer Everett. Let's see who the hell missed this tackle. That was horrible. Yeah, with DeShazer Everett stinking ass. Missed the damn tackle. That should have been a gain of about 17. Instead, it turned into a gain of about 29 down to the 1-yard line. And now the Browns are threatening to score. They marked them out at the 2-yard line. They run the ball, and great job of penetration initially by Tim Settle and Holcomb to stop him at the 1-yard line. So the Browns will have 2nd and goal from the 1. Come on, goddammit. DeShazer Everett with that stinking ass attempt at a damn tackle. Really good job of penetration by Holcomb and Tim Settle to stop the running back from getting in the end zone. C's Up says they got to do something with the O-line depth. They look terrible. They shouldn't be this bad. We'll talk. I'm going to address that during the break. See if the Browns are able to get in on the end zone here, or the Redskins are able to keep them out of the end zone again. Woo! Jimmy over there. They tried to test our boy Jimmy, the people's corner. Jimmy won't have it. Jimmy won't have it. He knocked it away and almost picked it off. He tried to bat it to himself. They tried to throw a little fade on Jimmy's side. He batted it in the air. The receiver actually caught it, but out of bounds. But Jimmy was looking to try to pick it off. He fell down. He wasn't able to get to it. I don't know. He might have got in the end zone. His knee might have been down with the football. The Browns may challenge this. I think we might get a challenge here. I need to see that again. That might be a touchdown. Let's see this again. Jimmy with the bat in the air with the PBU. He gets his feet down, inbounds. Oh, that's a catch, man. That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. This is the angle right here that we need. This is a touchdown. Yeah. His knee was down. Jimmy made a hell of a play. Jimmy made one hell of a play, but that's a great job by the receiver. That's a great job by the receiver there to come down with that. Hey, 7PRS, man, I appreciate the super chat, man. Really do. Really, really appreciate that, man. All donations are welcome and greatly appreciated, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. So that's going to be a touchdown. Redskins are going to be down 14-7. Not mad at that play at all by Jimmy, but I'm really mad at the poor display of tackling by the Redskins defenders, primarily DeShazer Everett on that play. C's Up says, they're keeping Lamar in for the whole quarter. I'm telling you, he don't look good at all. Crowd booing. Again, they're not using the stuff that they're going to use come the regular season. So I'm not too concerned about that. The 20th Mike says, I mean, what players stayed home? Only guy I know stayed home was Adrian Peterson. All the rest of those guys travel with the team. They're just not playing. A lot of them aren't playing. Once again, I appreciate the super chat, 7PRS, man. I really do. We'll get back to C's Up comment about the offensive line depth and how bad it's looked to this point. And remember, for those of you who just joined the stream, I'm opening up the phone lines in the second half. So stick around for the second half. I know the second half of preseason game number 1 is not appealing. I get it. But I've got a big announcement for you as Redskins fans for upcoming content on this channel. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to make that announcement in the second half. In addition to that, I'm going to open up the phone lines and you can voice your concern about the offensive line, some things that you liked from tonight's preseason game in the first half. No sweat in this football game. For those of you asking, no Montez Sweat. But we're going to see what they come away with on this challenge. I assume that they're going to call this a touchdown. They took a long time, which means they might not. Yep. Incomplete pass. I actually think it was a touchdown, personally. But they took so long. Generally, if they're going to overturn it and determine it's a touchdown, they would have did it quickly. If you're going to keep it on the field, then you need to make sure you got all the clock right and all that good stuff. So they left it on the field. I thought it was a touchdown, man. He got possession of football. If that were the Redskins, I'd be pissed off. Let me just say that. So I thought it was a touchdown. Thought the Browns got hosed there, but it's third down now. Great job by Jimmy Moreland, though. To hell with all of that. That's a hell of a play by Jimmy Moreland. Jimmy, I want to score Moreland, a.k.a. the people's corner, over there holding it down. So now it went from first and goal from the 2 to third and goal from the 1. And the Browns are in shotgun, empty backfield. So they're definitely throwing it here. Redskins got 5 DBs on the field. Let's see what happens. They went after Jimmy again, and Jimmy ain't having that shit. Great job by Jimmy on the slant. Get out of here with your nonsense. Hey, look, man, they better stop messing with Jimmy, man. Not on Jimmy's watch. It's not that time, bro. Y'all better find out what time it is. It's Jimmy's time. Let's go, man. Jimmy got away with a slight tug of the jersey. Still a hell of a play by Jimmy. They're going for it on fourth down. I surmise that they're going to leave Jimmy alone on this play right here. This is probably a run. And it is. And the Redskins fumble. Scoop it up. Let's go. Cole Holcomb over there smoking fools. Let's go. It's a hell of a play by Cole Holcomb. The defense stepped up on that play. They blew the play up. And I think that was Cole Holcomb that smashed the running back and caused the fumble. See it again. Jimmy out here playing some ball, man. I'm so excited either. I got hype off that fumble. I guess because it's the young boys. I really think it's because it's the young boys. Casanova McKenzie was the one that recovered the fumble, but Jimmy and Cole Holcomb combined for the forced fumble there. I really feel like I just got excited, way too excited. I might have even lost a yard on the play. And then they just showed a replay on the play where both players, DeShazer Everett and Jimmy Moreland didn't wrap up. Cole Holcomb came from about 20 yards off the pace to knock him out of bounds at the 2-yard line, saved the touchdown, and the Redskins ultimately got the stop. So that's a great hustle play. Play action fake, bootleg, great catch by, looks like, is that Kidsey? Yep. By Darvin Kidsey. And Keenum, with a little bit of pressure on his face off a boot, able to make a clean, accurate throw to a Kidsey out in the flats. And now you're going to set up a third and probably about 3 after the game by a 3rd and 5 is where they marked it. I don't know what the hell just happened there. It froze on me, I guess. But I'm back, like cook crack. So let's pick up where we left off. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell happened, to be honest with you. But we're back. And no, that wasn't just that was just you. I didn't know what the hell was going on either. So I'm glad to be back like cook crack. I don't know what the hell happened, but we're gonna pick up right where we left off at. Redskins weren't able to convert on that 3rd down. More pressure, like you guys talked about. And as a matter of fact, this is a perfect time to talk about what C's Up said. And he said, look, they got to do something about the offensive line depth. They look terrible out there. Remember, if you want your comment read on the air, use the hashtag LouieTLive. So he said they got to do something with the offensive line depth. They look terrible. They shouldn't be this bad. A lot of these guys haven't played together with each other. Remember, Flowers was working at tackle until they got Cam, the young kid, and what's his name? Cam. Until they got the Robinson kid, not Cam. Until they got the Robinson kid, and they got Donald Penn. He was playing at tackle, remember? So he wasn't getting the reps at guard like he was supposed to be. A lot of things weren't going the way, and so now you got a whole different line. Bergstrom had been playing center. He's not playing center right now, I don't think. Look, I'm not defending these guys. They look bad, all right? You're right. The depth on the offensive line will be better. Why? Because guys that are starting now will be backups, and they'll be getting reps as backups, and they'll be better, all right? Trust me. A lot of these guys that you're seeing getting beat won't even be on the roster. Jerron Christian, I think he'll get better. He's just coming back off of off-season surgery. I think he'll get better. It's 3rd and 7 for the Browns. Oh! DeShazer Everett almost had a pick. He need to make up for that stinking-ass tackling effort he had earlier. That was a great break on the ball. Yeah, that quarterback kind of telegraphed that, and DeShazer was all over it. Easily could have had a pick. But now the Browns are out to punt. And so we'll get back to the offensive line discussion. And again, if you want to bring it up when we open up the phone lines in the second half, feel free to bring it up. So once again, Fabian Moreau back on punts. So that's telling for me. That's one of my Dwayne Haskins sighting. Here comes Dwayne Haskins, young Simba, for the first time in a Redskins uniform, donning the Joe Theismann Classic number 7. So here we go, guys. Haskins in the game. Let's see who's on the field with him. Quick still in the game. Davis in the game. P. Ryan in the game. Now Donald Penn is in the game. And I want to see who's at guard next to him. Eric Flowers still in the game at guard, though. But Donald Penn is now in at left tackle. So Haskins' first snap as a Redskin is play action fake. It's a bootleg to the outside. Haskins with a throw over the top. Perfect throw to a wide open Kidsy, it looks like. Oh, man, that's a beautiful throw by Haskins, baby. We in the building. Stand up, number 7. That's a great throw by Haskins. Man, that was gorgeous. That's a beautiful throw. All right, so the Dwayne Haskins era in Washington, at least in the preseason, has begun. And it starts with about a 25-yard dart down the field on the move. People talked about him, including me, talked about his accuracy on the move. Damn, that was pretty. This probably is going to be a run to P. Ryan. He looks like he's got a command so far. He went for the snap, and the ball was not hiked to him. So I don't know if that's on him or if that's on the center, but that's going to cost us 5 yards. And this is the kind of stuff you got to deal with a young quarterback like Dwayne Haskins. All right, so one of the Sims is in the game, not the one we were looking for, though. No Cam Sims right now. It's Steven Sims in the game out of Kansas. He's in the slot with Kidsy, and you've also got Quick still out there. He throws a comeback to Brian Quick, but it's high and incomplete. So now it's 2nd and 15. All right, so now the Redskins are in a 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end set, 4 wide, essentially, 1 back in the backfield. I think that's P. Ryan. He drops back. Good protection. Great honey hole shot by Haskins, but the receiver fumbles the ball. Kinsey fumbles, and it's recovered by the Browns. That's a great throw by Haskins, though. Honey hole shot, playing cover 2, right behind the corner in front of the safety. Haskins lays it in there perfectly, but the receiver fumbles the football. It's a great throw by Haskins. That's a honey hole shot. Right before the safety could get over there. He's showing you the arm strength, guys. He's showing you the arm talent. Those first 2 throws, both throws showing off the strength. Man, Haskins looks good early. All right. Colts fan says, he said, what's up, Lou? What do you think of Deshazer Everett? Could he get cut? Nah, we don't have enough depth at safety for Deshazer Everett to get cut. He's got to be better than what he was on that first tackling play he had where he gave up the big play, but DeShazer's fine. DeShazer Everett is a solid backup safety in this league, and he's not going anywhere. KC says, he's the people's corner. # give me Moreland. He's balling right now, is young Jim over there outside at the cornerback position. Sean Mack says, Haskins is your quarterback of the future, bro. We do know this to be a fact. Absolutely. Sean Mack says a severe thunderstorm a warning issued, I guess where he is. He says, so I need to go. Love all my fellow #Lab Room fan. And the feeling is mutual and reciprocated, bro. Go get into shelter, man. All right. So Make sure you use the hashtag LouieTLive if you want your comment read on the air. So right now, my biggest takeaways from what I've seen are the following. Jimmy Moreland looks like the real deal, which I told you I thought he was the real deal when we drafted him, but it's one thing to see it in college. It's another thing to hear everybody rant and rave about him in camp. It's another thing to see it on the field during the preseason when you're going up against guys that are athletically gifted just like you are. That's impressive for Moreland there. Cole Holcomb has been a standout as well. They've been talking about him all camp. They've been talking him up. I listen to Rob Ryan. I listen to Jay Gruden. I listen to all of these guys talk about how Cole Holcomb has been a standout in camp, how he's been a student of the playbook, how he's been an athletically gifted guy, which we knew he was, and he's been a student of the game. And so far, we've seen all of that and more from him. And then, obviously, on offense, Robert Davis has been a standout. But the biggest takeaway so far is Dwayne Haskins. That throw that he just made to Kidsey, was that Kidsey that fumbled? That's a hell of a throw, man. That's a honey hole shot. And cover two. You know how hard it is to squeeze a football into a honey hole like that? Behind the corner, in front of the safety. Safety tried to get over there. It was too much zing on that. Hot sauce to go. Much faster than slow. Browns going up top on the defense. Woo! Who is that? Number 39 was right there. Let me see who that is. Gary and Jimmy was in coverage there. Jimmy got away with a bit of an armbar, but he was right there step for step with arguably the Browns' fastest wide receiver. Jimmy right there with Antonio Callaway. And the safety, Reeves, did a great job of coming over at the last minute. That was actually a pretty damn good play by Reeves. Jeremy Reeves. And I'm going to tell you what, there is potential at safety. If someone wows and maybe an injury or something occurs, someone could potentially get a spot. That was a great play by Jeremy Reeves there. This is a run play by the Browns. Redskins defense not having it. Tim Settle, man, he looks like he's in great shape. God damn. You know what's crazy? Is I tweeted out a picture. I think JP Finley took a picture of Tim Settle and said he looked like he was in great shape. I see it now. Man, Tim Settle looks to be in outstanding shape. Man, he looks good. And that was a great play in the backfield for a tackle for a loss there to set up 3rd and 11 for the Browns on this possession. Reeves is from Alabama State, not Washington State. That's what they said on the screen there. Let me not be wrong. I'm going to look it up for you. Oh, Casanova McKenzie. Got some pressure. Good tackle there by Reeves again. But Casanova McKenzie beat the tackle off the edge. Yep, slap down the hands, dip the shoulder. Nice job to get to the quarterback and force him to throw it maybe a little quicker than he wanted to. Redskins make the tackle on 3rd and 11, about 4 yards short of the sticks. Going to force the Browns to punt the football after the sudden change of possession on the fumble. So, good job. Thad Moreau back on punts again. So, I think that's going to be a recurring theme for the night until he's no longer in the game. And I'm going to check on Reeves right now to see where he's from. All right, Thad Moreau with a chance to have a return here, and that went nowhere. So, Reeves is from South Alabama, not Alabama State. So I was wrong. He's not from Alabama State. He's from South Alabama. So there you have that. Haskins back on the field for his second possession. He was ultra impressive on his first possession. Let's see what he does for an encore. Jimmy Moreland has been really impressive. That might have been one of his most impressive plays of the night, running step for step with the Browns' fastest receiver and Antonio Callaway. He was right there now. He did panic a little bit, put his arm on the arm of the receiver. Luckily, it was not called. And I think a lot of the reason why it wasn't called, great play by Jeremy Reeves to come over and almost pick the football off. So anyway, let's get back to the comment section and see what you guys have to say. A lot of comments now that Haskins has gotten in the game. The 20th Mike says, like how Haskins throws a nice clean ball, or has thrown some nice clean balls. Pause. Larry Mills says Haskins showing some timing too. He did, especially on that honey hole shot in cover two. You got to be on time. If you're late there, that safety's coming over and picking that off. And so he definitely showed timing there on that throw. Junior 13 says, "What up, Lou? Thanks for the reaction. Humble us Skins fans with that football intellect. I'm trying, man. You know, anything I can to help the family along on this journey. We all family and we all on the same journey, man. I may not think the Redskins are going to be very good record-wise this season, but you better be damn sure every single game I'm going to be rooting like hell in front of my TV for the Redskins to win. And anything's possible. I said it a number of times. The league is set up for parity. The league is set up for a team like the Redskins. If the ball bounces their way and things go in their favor, it's set up for a team like the Redskins to go 10-6 and sneak into the playoffs. I just don't think it's going to happen for us, but anything's possible, and you better be damn sure I'm going to be up here rooting for like hell for the Redskins to win every single goddamn on week. Larry Mills says, the Team 980 radio online isn't working, so I came here for play-by-play. Hey, glad I could be of some assistance to you, man. I'm a little disappointed that they don't got their shit together, but then again, YouTube ain't had their shit together as my stream temporarily went down for a second. So shit happens. Essentially, is the theme there and the message. And Jay Gruden was just talking about Dwayne Haskins and him having great demeanor on the football field. Even when a bad play happens, he's like, "Hey, what's the next play, coach?" So. 2 of 3 right now for 59 yards, and both of those completions were outstanding throws. Byron Marshall now in the game at running back. You've got Brian Quick in motion, and it looks like Robert Davis on the outside at receiver. Byron Marshall makes a nice move in the hole and picks up a gain of 9 on first down. So he's going to set up a 2nd and 1. Excuse me. Mo L says, I don't think 31 on returns is Fab Moreau. Yeah, it's Fab Moreau. It's Fat Moreau definitely back there on returns. Let's see. I'm gonna check the roster and see if there's another number 31. You could be right. You know, in the preseason there are multiple the same number, but I think Fat Moreau is the guy returning punts. Pick. Haskins just threw a pick. Don't hurt yourself trying to make a tackle. Touchdown, Browns. Haskins picked off. He tried to throw the rail route, the wheel route up the sideline to the running back. He did not put enough on it. It was the right throw, right read, poor throw. That's all that was. And so Haskins throws a pick there, and it is returned for a touchdown. He didn't put enough on that throw. Again, right read. I see what he was trying to do. I was nervous him trying to make this tackle. He underthrew that ball severely, and it goes for 6 the other way. And that's the growing pains you're going to have with a rookie quarterback, man. Those type of things are going to happen. That's a learning and a teaching tool for him. They'll show him what he did wrong because, again, I don't think that was a bad decision. Even though the running back wasn't open, you can throw him open on that type of route because that linebacker was not running full speed. That running back would have ran right by him if he put some air under that. He just short-armed that one. He tried to be too fine with it, and he left it up there, and it got off, and it went for 6. All right. I'm going to check these numbers out now. I don't think there are duplicates of 31 on the roster. Therefore, well, you could be right because there is a Sean Wilson on the roster as a running back as a number 31. Here's my thing with that, and I think it's Fat Moreau, but I could be wrong. Here's the thing, is I don't want to put guys back there that I don't think are going to be on this roster returning punts when it's all said and done. I want guys fielding punts that I think are going to make this roster. Yep, he didn't step into the throw. Haskins was too fine with that pass. He did not step into the throw. He literally jumped on his tippy toes and tried to throw that. And that's a product of him trying to be too fine with the football. All that was him trying to be too goddamn on perfect with that. Instead of him just letting it rip. That's a good play by the defender, too. So, we've seen good Dwayne. We've seen bad Dwayne tonight. definitely a learning experience. So, to the point that was made by, let me go back, Mo Els, I believe it was. You're right. It could possibly not be Thad Moreau because there is another 31 on the roster, and his name is Sean Wilson. So you could be right there. We'll see. Haskins is going to be fine. Those things happen. He's got to shake that off and bounce back. And again, I don't. That wasn't a situation where, you know, it was a terrible decision or it was a terrible decision or it was a poor read. He just didn't put enough on it. An honest mistake. He just didn't put enough on the football. So he didn't step into it. His footwork was really bad on that play, and he paid for it. And I'm pretty sure that's what the coaches are going to tell him when it's all said and done is, hey, this is why footwork is important. This is why we work on these fundamentals in the offseason. You got to carry these things into the game. Got to step into your throw there. So he's back on the field. You know what's going to be important here is that he shakes this off and that he has selective memory, forgets about that play, and moves on to the next. I am going to go out on a limb and say that this is a run play here to settle him down. Samaje Perine is in the backfield, and it's a run to Samaje that goes absolutely nowhere. As a matter of fact, I think he lost a yard on the play. So they ran that stupid-ass duo play that we all hate, and it didn't go anywhere. Now, he's back in the game now. He's settled down. You got the handoff. Everything's good. I expect him to throw the football here on second down. So let's see what he does here. So now they're in the gun. Samaje Perine is to the left of Haskins, and you've got Cam Sims in the game for the first. Oh my goodness! Haskins is slammed down to the turf. He fumbles, but he was down. Lord have mercy. Let's see what happened. God damn, they trying to get our young boy, and he's grimacing. They trying to get our young boy killed out there. I think he might have a concussion. Okay, so the center didn't touch the interior defensive lineman, and then Samaje Perine, I don't know what the hell that was in terms of a type of block, but that was some bullshit too. So neither one of those guys really touched him, and that defensive lineman made Dwayne Haskins pay. It's third and forever now, third and 22 to be exact. If this isn't a draw, it's a screen. It's a draw to Perine, and he's going to pick up about a gain of 5, and the Redskins are going to punt this football away. They got to be better than that, man. They can't be getting our young Simba getting killed like that. That was some bullshit. The center passed him off, and Perine didn't basically touch him. So the Redskins are going to punt now, 4th and 15. And let's see. Browns are going to take over. It's a great punt by Tressway with a great bounce. Looks like that one's going to be down and stopped at the 36. So that's a hell of a punt from your own end zone. So Browns will take over from their own 36 up 14-7. After a really poor possession by the Redskins offensively, in which nothing going on the ground, and Haskins was sacked after they did not protect him on that particular play. Looked like Zach Karen was at guard, I want to say, maybe even center, and he didn't lay a finger on the defensive tackle, and then Perine had a piss poor pass pro there, and Haskins paid the price. So Chris Lee says Jimmy Moreland is a beast. Maybe the next Darrell Green. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. We will see. Again, I don't want to put that on him. Darrell Green is a Hall of Fame football player and one of the 5-10 greatest Redskins ever. Like, I don't want to put that on Jimmy this early. Let's let Jimmy play some regular season games first. Arlene Adkins says, "What's good, Louie? Really like the preseason. To get to know them young guys and give it their all to live their dreams." That's what the preseason is really all about. You know, it's not about the veterans. It's not about, out scheming the other team. It's about the young guys getting their feet wet and seeing what the NFL is all about. Geo Bove says Haskins throws a pick already. It's the first, and he's going to get better. He's going to learn from it, and that's the beauty of the preseason. Larry Mills says can't be late on that. Absolutely not. And it wasn't even a matter of being late. You can't underthrow that. Again, let me say this: the linebacker was not in a position to cover that running back out of the backfield. He puts air on that. I guarantee you, Byron Marshall runs past him, might even score a touchdown. I guarantee it. But you underthrow it, and that linebacker who's dropping into coverage has a chance to pick it off, and that he did. Geo Bove says, who are your 5 Redskins of all time? It's hard to have a list because I didn't see some of the guys way back in the day. But if you're talking about the guys I've had the pleasure of seeing in my lifetime, so I've watched Riggins, film. I've went back and watched games that he played in. So Riggo is in that group. Gerald Green for me is in that group. I went back and I watched, and again, these are the guys that I had a chance to watch. Dexter Manley for me is in that group. He was a ferocious pass rusher for the Redskins. He's in that group for me. So the game is back on. Browns, great job by Ryan Anderson sniffing out a shotgun run. And he takes that gun run and makes it a loss of 2 as the Browns start off their possession. Quietly, Ryan Anderson's had a really solid night. Really, really solid night. Trying to think of some more Redskins that are high on my list of guys. Cole Holcomb makes a shoestring tackle, saves the first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 3, 4 at max. Sean Taylor was one of the best guys I've seen at the safety position, but if you're talking all-time Redskins, I don't think you can put him in that discussion yet. He's my favorite Redskin. Art Monk, thank you. There you go. Art Monk, definitely in that discussion. So that's 4 guys. So I said Manley, Darryl Green, Riggo, Art Monk, and it's a shame because I haven't named one guy that the core of his career came in the 90s, which is a damn shame. That's how bad we've been over the last 2-3 decades. Over the middle on 3rd down, it's a catch for Antonio Callaway, and it's going to move the sticks for the Browns on 3rd and 3. They get about a gain of 8 on the completion and move the sticks. A lot of zone coverage for the Redskins tonight. So, Greg Minuski talking about Cole Holcomb and how he's got a great understanding of the defense as a young rookie already. 1st and 10 from their own, from the Redskins' 45-yard line. Play has been stopped. Flag has been thrown. False start on the Browns. Going to move them back to midfield and set up 1st and 15. So I've got 4 Redskins. Again, I can't put Sean Taylor in the mix. If you're talking my favorite Redskins of all time, he's at the top of the list. But if you're talking best Redskins of all time, Sean Taylor can't be on the list. And you probably have to go with one of the Hogs, probably like a Joe Jacoby for me. I think I'd probably go with Joe Jacoby. I think he was the best, even though he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, which is a travesty in itself. I'd have to say that Jake probably is the 5th guy to round out my group. Holcomb tried to make a play in zone coverage on a bullet thrown right past him. Wasn't able to get there in time. Completion for about a good 15, maybe 16 to Antonio Callaway to move the sticks yet again and convert on 1st and 15. So that's probably more like a gain of 21 because he was well past the first down. So now they're at the Redskins 31-yard line, 1st and 10. They're trying to set up a screen. The Redskins were all over it. Holcomb and Ryan Anderson sniffed it out, got a little bit of pressure, and so they were incomplete, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. All right, let's get to some comments as we kind of get closer to the second quarter halftime break. Um, Larry Mills says, better now than in the regular season, a learning moment. Absolutely, in regards to the Haskins pick. Um, so Moreland's still on the field, among others. They throw a quick pass to the outside, and the first sighting of Josh Harvey Clemens, who does look a little bit bigger. You guys had told me he put on a little bit of weight. Does look a little bit bigger. He makes the tackle after about a gain of, let's call it 7, maybe 6. Yep, 6. So it's going to set up 3rd and 4 from the Redskins' 25-yard line. See if the Redskins can get a stop and force a field goal attempt here. Aldine Atkins says, still look better than Locke. Yeah, Drew Lock did not look good in his first start. I'm still a Drew Lock guy, though. So, 3rd and 4, Redskins rush 4. And it's dropped. Should have been completed. Josh Harvey Clemens in coverage was beaten. And that should have been a first down. He was right there, but he was beaten, and it would have been enough for the first down. And really, Cole Holcomb was kind of in his way. So kind of stopped him. But he was able to be there and make it tough on the receiver who dropped the football. And thus, it will bring up 4th down, and the Browns will have to attempt a field goal. Larry Mills says, telling moment, how does he respond? That's how I felt. And he really didn't get a chance to respond. The pass protection was poor on that next possession. He got slammed down on the turf on a sack. And so maybe we'll get to see him respond on this next possession here. It's a flag on the play. Let's hope it's not on the Redskins. If it is, it will be a first down for the Browns. Let's see what the call is. Because I want to see Haskins get on the field again. So let's hope it's not on the Redskins. Okay. No foul on the play. Field goal's good. Glad, because that would have gave the Browns the first down, and they would have then taken it and probably scored a touchdown. And at least at worst, eating up more clock and limited the amount of time that Dwayne Haskins would have had on the field in the second quarter. Because I honestly think that this is it for Haskins. I don't think we're going to see him in the second half. I think the second half is going to be all Josh Woodrum. So I'd be shocked if we saw Haskins, especially if this possession goes well here to end the first half. I think we're going to see the last of Haskins. And honestly, it could be whether or not the Redskins do well in this possession. You might have seen the last of Haskins with this second quarter action here. So we'll see. But he's definitely going back on the field now. And he'll be out there for his 3rd possession of the game. Remember, the first possession, he was sharp, 2 great completions, and a honey hole shot in cover 2 to Kidsey, who then fumbled the football. That's how his first possession ended. The second possession, never stood a chance. A run to Samaje Perine that went for -1. The next play, he was then sacked before he even had a chance to drop back and slam down to the turf. And then they ran a handoff out of gun on 3rd down to end that possession on 3rd and long. Mo L says, you're right, Lou. It's Sean Wilson. Okay, so it was that. So you were right. No, I wasn't right. You were right. It was Sean Wilson. I kept saying it was Fat Moreau. It was Sean Wilson back there on punt returns. Larry Mills says, 3 years in the system, you need to pick up blitzes as a running back. And that's the reason Samaje wasn't active a lot of the time last year. Jay Gruden said, they needed a back that could do a little bit of both. Be a 3rd down back and a 1st and 2nd down back. And Samaje simply wasn't equipped with the tools necessary to be a 3rd down back last year. That's why he wasn't active a lot of the time. And Jay has been ranting and raving about how he's gotten better in pass pro. That wasn't it on that play. That wasn't it at all. So, again, that'll be a teaching moment for him too. But I hate teaching moments to come at expense of our rookie quarterback getting slammed down on the turf like that. So the first play was a handoff to the running back that went nowhere, gain of nothing. So now it's 2nd and 10. Haskins in the gun. He drops back, Oh, uses his legs, steps up, runs, and gonna slide probably a yard short of the first down. But again, that was something else we talked about with Haskins, his lack of mobility. That looked good right there. All right. He saw pressure, and our right tackle, Timon Paris, got his ass whooped on that play. Haskins recognized it and took off running. That's a hell of a play by Haskins. Gain of 9, probably going to set up. He thinks it's a first down. It's not because he slid. So he's going to be short. If he would have dove head first, it would have been a first down. But it's 3rd and 1. And I think it's going to be a handoff to P. Ryan, probably duo, if I had to guess. They need to block because I want this first down and I want it bad. It is duo, and P. Ryan able to get the first down after contact initially stopped him short of the first down. So good tough run by P. Ryan to extend the possession and give the Redskins a new fresh set of downs. Only a gain of 2, but that's a tough run by P. Ryan to get the first down because there wasn't much there. Let's see what the Redskins come out in now. Both Sims are in the game, Cam and Steven, along with Kidsey and Flanagan at tight end. Those are all your skill guys on the field right now with Byron Marshall in the backfield as Haskins is where he's most comfortable in the gun. He takes the shotgun snap, drops back, steps up with pressure coming off the edge, uses his legs again, eludes the rusher, takes a hit, but is able to get 8 on the play and didn't take a big hit either. But it looks like it's going to be for naught. It's holding on the Redskins. Probably that defender screaming off the edge that forced Haskins out of the pocket. Man, Timon Paris is getting his ass worked over there. Yeah, that was definitely a hold on Timon Paris. He's having a rough go of it tonight. He's really struggling at right tackle. It's been a really rough go of it for him tonight. That's another penalty on him. He's been beaten in pass pro a couple of times. It's been a rough go of it for him tonight. Now it takes a promising drive after a gain of 8 by Haskins and turns it into 1st and 20 back at your own 22. Haskins takes a shotgun snap, quick set to Cam Sims for a completion and a gain of 2, 4, 6. It looks like 7 yards for Cam Sims to make it 2nd and 13. And I think that's going to be our last play prior to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 13 after 2-minute warning. So let's get to some more of your comments. All right. Boba says, boy, we could use Trent. Laughing my ass off. Hey, look, y'all should get used to the idea of Trent not being here because I don't think he's playing another snap in a Redskins uniform. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Jill Bove says, I think you forgot Sean Taylor. I didn't forget Sean. I love Sean, but how many years did Sean play in the league? What, 3? I mean, you can't put a guy in your best ever conversation, and he only played 3 seasons. And I don't even think he got to the full 3rd season. So you're talking about 2.5 seasons essentially, because he was in that 2004 draft, I think it was. So 2004 season, because that was Gibbs' first year back. 2005, 2006. So 3.5 seasons essentially. And you know how much I love Sean Taylor. I think he was one of the best physical specimens I've ever seen on a football field. You know, athletically gifted, size, speed, power, all of that. But my top 5 would be Riggo, Jake, Dexter Manley, Art Monk, and Daryl Green. Those are probably my 5 right there. Larry Mills says, I do like how Gruden isn't playing starters. Let's find out who's who early, important for cuts. It's a different approach, and it can't hurt. Well, this has always been Gruden's approach. He hasn't played starters in the past. He's been criticized for that, if you remember. Remember, up until last year, Jay Gruden had not won a Week 1 game, and the narrative had always been that the Redskins weren't prepared. And a lot of that stemmed from him not playing guys more in the preseason. So this has always been the approach that he's taken. The number one thing, knock on wood, is that we want to come out of this thing healthy. And so far, so good. Let's keep it that way. I tweeted this out earlier. There was an article written, I think by J.P. Finley, that pretty much was talking about the 5 takeaways for Jay Gruden in this game. And he said number one being health, no injuries. For me, no injuries is number 1. Number 2 is no injuries. Number 3 is no injuries. Number 4 is no injuries. Number 5 is no injuries / player development. So that's what I tweeted out. Gio Bove says, what boy played like 4 years and managed to inspire people at his position 10 years later? He was on pace to be the greatest ever to play. That's absolutely correct. That doesn't mean he's the greatest top 5 Redskin of all time. Maybe for you in your top 5, but for my top 5, you can't put a guy in there that didn't play, enough years. Sean Taylor was a hell of a talent. You're not gonna make me feel like I'm diminishing Sean Taylor somehow, because I'm not. But Haskins under duress, got rid of the football to Steven Sims. Great move by Sims. He's a jitterbug too. That's a nice little gain by Sims on 2nd and 13. Gets about a gain of 9 there to set up 3rd and 4. That's a great job by Haskins, because Byron Marshall did not necessarily do the best job in pass pro. He did enough to give Haskins enough time to get rid of the football, but Mac Wilson, the rookie out of Alabama who had the pick 6, almost got to Haskins there. And Haskins with a good throw to Steven Sims for a gain of 9. And now it's 3rd and 4. It's 3rd and manageable. So let's see if Haskins can dig the Redskins out of a 1st and 20 hole and end up converting a 1st down here. Hey, Hype Dude, I really appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So now we're 3rd and 4. So 3rd and 5 is official. Haskins with time in the pocket. Great throw by Haskins in tight coverage. Great catch by Kidsey to come down with the football. And it's a Redskins 1st down. It's a hell of a throw by Haskins, because that was tight coverage. Nice and high so the receiver can go up and get it away from the defender. So really good throw. I think they're going to buzz down and look at this, try to see if it's a catch. Yeah, they're going to review it because Kinsey lost the football at the very end. I think it's a catch. But it's a gain of 18 if it stands. That's a good pocket. Good job by the offensive line to protect him on that play. Kinsey secures the football, is tackled. He's down on the play. It's a catch. I thought it was a catch when I saw it live. I see it now in slow motion on the replay. It's definitely a catch. So that is definitely going to be a Redskins 1st down. Haskins looking sharp on this possession here as he's looking to move the Redskins down the football field. Once again, I appreciate the super chat by Hype Dude. Really appreciate that. Lindsey Green says, Mark Bullock from the Athletic thinks that Cam Sims was supposed to be a rub pick play on the linebacker on the pick 6. It might have been because, on plays like that, generally you're trying to get that linebacker out of there. And normally in situations like that, you're running a slant to the inside or shallow cross, something to muddle up. But even still, if that was supposed to be a pick play, he still underthrew the football. That's the underlying theme and the overarching theme there is that was an underthrow. And he puts more on that football, even with the linebacker being there as a catch. Appreciate the super chat, Brian Norfleet, man. Really do appreciate that. I'm sorry if I'm ahead of your TV. I don't want to spoil it for anybody out there. I'm sorry again if I'm ahead of your game. Sorry. I apologize. I hate to be a spoiler alert. But that's very plausible, Lindsey Green, that Cam Sims was supposed to be running a rub route on the pick 6. But Haskins still needs to put a little bit more. Good pocket on this throw. Haskins picked off again. Overthrow to the tight end. Flanagan. Haskins just airmailed that one. And he just let that one go. And they talked about him doing that in camp too, where there are throws where he just overthrows his receiver by 2 feet, and he did it there. Even if Flanagan ran a clean route, which he didn't, Matt Wilson did a good job of kind of muddling up that play. He wouldn't have been in that spot. That ball was severely overthrown. and Haskins throws his second pick of the night. So um, it's another teaching tool for him. He tried to squeeze that one in to a hole over the middle on a seam ball to the tight end, and just not happening. Flanagan, A, not athletically gifted enough to go and get that, and 2, great job by the tight end to jam him up, and 3, that's just a poor throw by Dwayne Haskins as he gets picked off yet again. His second pick of the night. Redskins with a sack. They got pressure on Gilbert there and able to get the sack as the Browns are probably going to allow the clock to run here. And we're probably going to end up hitting halftime. So I want to get to your comments. TFWSA was right all along. Atlas says, don't know what that means. Browns run a outbreaking route and pick up about 11 on second and 12 in front of Jimmy Limpin as he tries to get up. If I had to guess, he bumped knees with somebody. It looks like, you know how you bump a knee or you hit your knee on something and it kind of goes numb a little bit and it's hard to walk. That's what he looked like he's got going on. But again, I'm no doctor and I didn't sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. Van Negro Jones says, this is all Trent's fault. All this line shifting is because of Trent holding out. Don't forget he is under contract. Again, Trent would not have been playing in this game anyway. So really not his fault at all. Boba Sis says, my 5 skins of all time. I'd love to hear them. Craig Smith says, hey, Lou, Arrington in your top 10? Hell no. LeVar Arrington was special for like a season in Washington. I think that season was 2000. I think with Marty Schottenheimer, we had like 10 sacks and he had that pick 6 that turned the season around when we went 8-8. Other than that, he got into the doghouse for Joe Gibbs and company and Greg Williams. LeVar was let me rewind. LeVar was a hell of a player and a hell of an athlete, but he freelanced a ton, and he wouldn't be in my top 10. He's a special athlete though, one of the best athletes I've ever seen at the linebacker position. Browns complete a pass for about 7 on 3rd and 2. Move the sticks. So they're getting close to field goal range. They're now at the Redskins 39-yard line with 30 seconds left in the first half. They've got a timeout left. Gilbert beats Jimmy Moreland over the middle of the field to Rashard Higgins. Gain of what looks like about 17. They're officially in field goal range now. And that's going to bring up a 1st and 10 from probably about the Redskins. I'd say about the 27 or so. I got to see where they mark the football. Jimmy makes the tackle, though, but he was just a shade late. It's a good throw by Garrett Gilbert, the quarterback. Just Andre says, ready for Scary Terry. We're ready for the young boys in general. None of them got any snaps early in this game, which shows you where they are right now in the depth chart. Not saying that that's where they'll be moving forward, but that's where they are right now. Just Andre says, I like Steven Sims. Maybe he can make the roster next year. I've liked what I've seen from him thus far, and he's a guy that can definitely run. Boba Sis says, Daryl Green, Art Monk, Joe Jacoby, Riggo, and B. Mitch are his top 5. B. Mitch, not a bad member of your top 5 at all. Easily could. I think he's one of the first guys on the outside looking in for me. B. Mitch should be in the Hall of Fame. I think it's a travesty that he's not in the Hall of Fame right now. Sean T, he says, is his honorable mention. Redskins come with a blitz. They don't get there, but it's knocked down on the play by Josh Harvey Clemens with a nice knockdown there. Once again, appreciate the super chat, Brian Norfleet. The 20th Mike says, Injury Reaper is already creeping up. We've been pretty clean over here. That was a good play by Josh Harvey Clemens right there. Lindsey Green says, where do you put my favorite player, Santana Moss, in your ranking? He's down the list as well. I see you're a fan of the U, so it makes sense that Santana Moss is one of your favorite skins. Josh Harvey Clemens looked like he was offsides on that play. Wow. If he wasn't offsides, he timed that. That wasn't Josh Harvey Clemens either. That was Marcus Smith. Okay, there go the flag. I'm about to say, God damn, he was way too quick. All right, they called the flag on Marcus Smith. Remember, Marcus Smith was the former first-round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles some 4 years ago out of Louisville that just never worked for them. Yeah, he got off the snap way too quick. So that's going to give the Browns a free 5 yards. And so now they're at the Redskins 33-yard line. All right, Gilbert tried to go deep on, is that Jimmy? On Jimmy Moreland, and Jimmy wasn't having it. They called holding on the Browns. And so that's going to back them up 10 yards and put them out of field goal range, which is great. 5 seconds left. So Josh Harvey Clemens came on a blitz, and the running back had no choice but to hold him as Josh Harvey Clemens beat him. And that forced the holding penalty, and that's going to knock the Browns out of field goal range now. So we'll see what they do with 5 seconds. They got no timeouts left. So this is either a Hail Mary or they try to run something quick out of bounds, and which will give them a shot to attempt a deep field goal. Let's see what they decide to do. If I were them, I'd run a quick out. Redskins will probably concede a 5 to 7 yard out. And you throw it. Never mind. We're going for the Hail Mary, and the Redskins would have none of it. He gets sacked, and that's going to wrap up your first half of football. Redskins trailing 17-7 at the half. Just Andre says, who are your studs and duds for the first half? I'm going to do that in the second half. Remember, I'm going to end this stream. Going to come back in the second half. Remember, I've got a major announcement for Redskins fans, so make sure you tune in the second half for that. And I'm also opening up the phone lines to you guys in the second half so that you can call in and voice your opinion on what you've seen, how you feel about this team, and anything in between. So join me for the second half stream of the Redskins' first preseason game versus the Cleveland Browns. Remember, I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, which should be in the second half, hail to our beloved Redskins. I will see you in the second half for the second half stream. See you guys in 15 minutes.